All right, guys, welcome back to Tecmo 101. Mort here, finishing up on the matchup series. We have a few teams to go. For today, we're talking about the Washington Redskins, and we're featuring one of the Redskins' greatest players, Darrell Green. He was one of the greatest players in the NFL. He was known for his speed. Almost every year at the Pro Bowl, they would have a 40-yard dash, and he would win almost every year, no matter what new young player they had go up against him, and he was represented pretty well in Tecmo Super Bowl. I'm going to show you this little known facet people don't realize in Tecmo on the kickoff return. You don't have to kick straight, you can kick up, and when you have a defensive back one like Green, you should kick down. And here's the reason why. If you watch on the screen, you see Darrell Green coming in, and sometimes he's been known to produce a safety and to get by all those blockers. Just as a further example, Darrell Green is as fast. He's as fast as you can see on the screen with him moving around. He's as fast as Wayne Haddix and Deion Sanders, making him and Richard Johnson. He doesn't have a lot of interceptions though, but he's paired up with Martin Mayhew at the other quarterback position who has 69 INTs, and that's what forms the base of the Redskins defense. All right. Now, let's talk about some matchups with the Redskins. So, the Redskins had a very great offense in the 90-91. One of the greatest offensive performances when they won the Super Bowl in 91 over the Bills. Unfortunately, the quarterback play for Tecmo purposes does not have a lot of pass control. Great receiving core. Ricky Sanders, 56 speed, 56 receptions. You have Art Monk, who had less speed but hitting power where you could put him at tight end. Very good receptions. Gary Clark, 50 MS, 75 receptions. You have backup running back Kelvin Bryant with 44 speed, 38 receptions. And of course, starting running back Ernest Biner with 50 back speed, 38 receptions. Very good offensive line. Not much to speak about at tight end. Pretty good kicker. On defense, a lot of these guys were past their prime. Charles Mann's okay, but he's not at a good position to use. Like Wilbo Marshall was a great player in the Bears in '85, but by this time this is like his last or second last season. But the defensive backfield, this is what you want. Darrell Green, 75 speed, 44 interceptions, and Martin Mayhew, 69 interceptions, 63 back speed. Todd Bowles, decent with interceptions, and Alvin Watson, another decent. So the secondary is pretty good. Of course, you want to be the quarterbacks. So our first matchup is to go up against Tampa Bay. Now, Tampa Bay, as we will go over in the future, has Wayne Haddix, the best defensive back in Tecmo, and he can JJINT your quarterback. But you can set up your playbook with Ernest Biner and run your plays at him, which will help you take him out of the game. Then in the passing game, you'll be able to open up if Wayne Haddix is not used during a play because you'll still have very good receiving. On the reverse side, you'll be able to shut this team down with the cornerbacks and be able to use both of them to contain both the passing and running game. Another good matchup to use is against Miami. Now, against Miami, they have a great passing team, but you're going to be in a lot of situations where you can cover with Mayhew and cover with Green and try to slow down. And then on offense, they don't dominate you as badly with their defensive backs. These good defensive backs only have 56 interceptions. That means you could risk more deep throws to your great receivers and make this matchup viable. Last but not least, in my chosen matchups today, we have versus San Diego. Against San Diego, it's almost like a mirror of similar defenses because each team has a great defensive back too, with 69 interceptions going up against bad quarterbacks. In this matchup, you just got to figure out how to shut down Marion Butts using Green and Mayhew. Once you can do that and shut him down, you have great matchups against either B.J. Tolliver or Mark Vlasic with either of your defensive backs. and that could be something that could use to force turnovers. At the same time, since your 50 MS running back, don't underestimate Ernest Biner. He's the key to Washington matchups because he has another hidden rating of tecmo, which is the 81 ball control. So he's a little less likely to fumble. And that's going to be key in all these matchups is getting him going. When you can get the Redskins running game going, they're a very tough team to start. You can run if you like two back sets, you have two great running backs, and against all these teams, there's opportunity to run the ball against them. Not one of them has a totally outstanding run defense that's going to absolutely shut you down. And in fact, San Diego and Tampa Bay are very weak against the run when you're going up against when you're running the plays at Gil Bird, when you're running plays at Wayne Haddix. And those are things you can take advantage of the Redskins. And then eventually, after you've run the ball enough, you set up your passing game and you can throw it deep. And you might be able to trick the person into not being one of these great defensive backs and get yourself into a great matchup. Or just go up against Miami, who also doesn't have the greatest of run defense. A lot of times run defense depends a lot on the LB1 position and the LB4 position, which is weak on this team. And even with good safety, sometimes you can still average 6-7 yards a carry if you know what you're doing with the Redskins, or if any 50 MS, 44 MS running back. Once you can get your offense going, tecmo sometimes, a lot of times, will work out like real football. If you can run the ball, eventually you're going to be able to set up a pass, and you're going to have options that are open. Anyways, those are some of my ideals for using the Redskins. Just keep in mind is that the best way to use the Redskins is on offense, is to run the ball, to set up your pass, and on defense, it's to use both Darrell Green and Martin Mayhew. You got to rotate between them because they both have. Darrell Green's got this all-powerful speed, but he doesn't have the interceptions. Mayhew's in a bad position, but there's times when he can just JJINT. When you learn to rotate between them and keep the offense off balance, then you'll have a really good team to use. Anyways, thanks. I'm going to have more videos coming out over the next couple of weeks to help you guys learn more about tecmo. Bye.